Hey all, Nika here from Back to My Roots, and I just wanted to give you a tour of my first ever hodgepodge seed starting setup. Okay, so here's my first ever seed starting setup, and I wanted to give you all a tour since it's actually working out. We are in my dining room for several reasons. Reason number one is the floor. It is one of the rooms in the house that has a non-carpeted floor, so it's easy cleanup. There's a huge window here. It faced west and it has an awning, so it's not, it's not direct sunlight, but any sunlight I guess is good sunlight. We haven't been using it much, but that's what I figured. Also is every day in my little notebook here, I jot down what I see, how seeds are responding, whether seeds are looking a little bit peakish, or whether, a certain seeds are very viable, where I got those seeds, days, times, when I'm feeding. All that good stuff is being documented right here in this little notebook. And that's my aloe. All right, time to repot, actually. Check this out. These poor things. It got pups and leaning, so I really need to repot those. And lastly, and more importantly, which I should have started with that, is a learning experience for the little one. So I sit in my little ottoman, and she sits in her chair, and every day, 2-3 times a day, we can open up the flaps here and look at the seedlings, and I try to explain to her what we're seeing and what's happening, the different stages of seed germination and whatnot, and she's really into it. The only problem we have is keeping her out of the dirt. Okay, so what we have here is a stand, or I'm gonna call it a stand, that my husband built out of pallet wood. It goes up over the coffee table that I commandeered. It was his from his bachelor days. It's hideous, and it doesn't belong anywhere except for as a seed starting table. We're using that, I guess, the stand to hold the shop light that is shining light upon the seedlings, and it's also the support for the tent. Now, the tent structure is lined with tinfoil. I know tinfoil kind of fractures the light, but tinfoil was much easier and cheaper than buying white paper and trying to adhere this to the cardboard, where you can just take a big roll and just, form it to the box. So I went with easier and cheaper. Also, let's see what else. Storage. So let me take you what's going on underneath. I'm going to sit in my handy dandy stool and show you what we got. Now, this box goes further back, and it's actually supposed to be turned around. So let's do that now. No, actually, it's where it's supposed to be. This box contains a lot of the things that I wanted to use, such as cups to transfer the seedlings, labels made out of said cups, chili peppers, a Sharpie, potting mix. The seed starting mix is over there. We'll get to it. And inorganic and organic fertilizers. Now, fertilizers. I had every intention of using organic fertilizers until I smelled them, especially the fish emulsion that's somewhere around here. So I've decided to go back and get the inorganic to use for inside, and then the organic will be moved to the greenhouse, and that will be its home. Now, I could store it in the barn, but just in case there were like little critters, I just, decided to keep it here and wrap it up tightly in plastic. Over here we have neem oil just in case I needed it, but for right now things are great. Somewhere I have cinnamon. I think it's on the dining room table. The reason why I can't use cinnamon, or I haven't been able to use cinnamon as much as I wanted to, is because I couldn't tell the difference between dried peat and the color of the cinnamon yet. Remember, this is my first year. Now, underneath, further underneath, we have a heating bit that has held steady. The temperature within the tent has held steady between, it was like 65 to 73 was the temperatures. A kneeling pad just in case. Salad storage containers to use just in case. a heating pad, a planter. I don't know why I have a planter here. It was really nice and cheap, and it's storing bags just in case I need it. In this diaper box is the vermiculite that I have outside, but let me bring this out. It's stored in there. And let's see what else. We have baking pans that I'm using to move the seedlings up closer to the light. For example, if the light's here because of whatever and I want to start something new, I can move these seedlings closer to the light without changing the shop light level. An empty plastic bin for storage, I guess. This is azomite and my cocoa core seed starting mix and a sprayer that I'll probably be using in the future. Another pot in the back and more seed starting trays, and my husband's pot that I, kind of neglected. Okay, so the structure itself, we engineered it to provide little doors. So let me show you how the doors work. We used the seam here of the cardboard box there to be able to lift, and since there's two, we folded it in a way so that we'll have two. And you lift, and here are the seedlings. Alright, now this shop light causes me, I only have one, so I have to rotate the seeds, and this is the current rotation. And it's funny because the seeds tell you how you should move it. If it starts leaning one side, then you know that it needs to, be moved this way, and then you kind of just go with the flow. So right here we have onions. This is early Texas. The red tropia onions here. I almost gave up on them, and then all of a sudden, bam! I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 showing up. These are my marigolds that, sorry onions, my marigolds that are starting to get their true leaves, which I need to transfer. This is my this is my tomato and pepper beds. They are coming up like gangbusters. As soon as I give up on them, I get, like here, I get germinations. It's cool, so cool. There we go. Alright, and so this is what we have. Let me move them back so we can get the rotation back to where it's supposed to be. And the little one's chair. And like I said before, I think I said this, because this is like take 5. I sit on my stool here. She sits there. We lift up and we go through a lesson. And we do this about 2 or 3 times a day, partly because I'm so excited. So let me scoot over. On this side, we've got the strawberries. I completely gave up on the strawberries, and then all of a sudden, bam! 1, 2. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. I was like, oh my gosh! I wasn't even expecting 1 from these little seeds. Crazy. And then the herbs. So we have so many basils. I'm a basil fan. So we have different types of basils. We have chives, oregano, mammoth dill. Let me see here. You probably need. Okay, so we have basils, chives, cumin, dill, another oregano, true oregano. I think that's it. Hold on. Yeah, this is true oregano. Flat parsley, rosemary is finally coming through. She's saying hello. Garden sage is right there. French and German thyme. This is, I don't remember. Russian tarragon. Russian tarragon. Garlic chives. Cilantro. And did I say this was oregano? So there. Let me put this down. Here are the herbs that we have, and they are doing great. I'm just loving the little stages and explaining like what's happening there with the seed on top. I'm learning a lot. And like I said before, if you could take a look, I can't discern the difference between the color of the peat and the cinnamon just yet when the peat dries. So I want to use, I'm not sure if you guys can see the mold here on the dill. I want to use cinnamon to help prevent the spread of the mold. We got mold here on the cilantro. I'm not sure if that's picking up. But when I sprinkle it, I cannot tell the difference, whether it's dry and I need to water again or what have you. So I know I'm going to douse some cinnamon fairly soon, but who knows. And my strawberries from seed. I gave up on these bad boys, and they just said, "Hi, don't give up on us. Please don't. We just want to say hi." I'm baffled by this. So this is again the seed starting setup, guys. I would love to hear your comments and any information or suggestions you can give me. I would love that too. So until we meet again, stay well in mind, body, and in soul. Bye. Hey, what are you doing, hon?